Coming up next, a suspect sentenced in a school attack plot, and a closer look at increased security at local schools.
Plus, the inspirational story behind a well-known mural in downtown State College.
It's growing all over the world. So a legacy of love from the flag.
And from students camping out to fans flying in from across the country, we preview Whiteout Week.
Good afternoon. I'm Maya Beeling.
And I'm Nico Rodriguez. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, the man accused of threatening an attack on a local school has been sentenced.
And at the same time, officials are stepping up security inside and outside schools. Reporter Emma Goldkoff is in our studio with more. Emma?
Yeah, Maya, it's been almost 6 months since a school attack threat at State College High stunned families and students. Now the suspect has learned his sentence and the district has taken new security steps.
This school year already looks a bit different in State College when it comes to safety and security. The district has implemented extra security measures after police broke up what they called an attack plot at the high school. New measures include random searches, tightened building access, outside vehicle barriers, and walk-through and handheld metal detectors, which the district bought more of after it borrowed from Penn State in the spring.
It's really important for us to lean on each other. You know, Penn State owns certain safety entities that we provide to our partners when they need them, and vice versa.
More than a month into the school year, students have mixed reviews on the changes.
I think there's a lot of people who just think it's not necessary, who just don't care. But then I think there's also people who are still scared.
Secondary students are now required to wear school-issued IDs at all times, similar to these ones issued to Penn State students. Each ID has a QR code that is scanned when the students walk into school, and it gives the district access to student information.
We are supposed to wear our IDs while inside of the building. Very few people do that. Everybody who's in the building is supposed to be in the building, which makes me feel safer.
Parents, law enforcement, and community members lobbied for the changes after the alleged attack plot in April. The suspect, 21-year-old Braden Phillips, was sentenced this week to time served, 165 days in jail. He's also on probation for 5 years.
I do feel like a little bit more could have happened because knowing that it came so close, the plans were so concrete, you know, it was so worked out. I do feel that
the new safety measures are in addition to others already in place, including lockdown drills and a daily police presence. I'm Emma Goldkoff. Back to you, Nico.
Thanks, Emma. Hundreds of police officers turned out to honor and escort 3 Pennsylvania detectives shot and killed during an ambush. The funeral was held in Red Lion yesterday. The detectives were shot last week by a suspect hiding inside the home of a woman he was accused of stalking in York County. The suspect was also killed at the scene.
2 suspended Penn State fraternities have joined an independent Greek life council that's running with no university oversight. Sigma Pi and Acacia are the newest members of the State College Interfraternity Council. They were suspended over hazing allegations. The council was created in March and now includes 5 fraternities.
And Penn State is getting a new $3.6 million grant to study children with ADHD. The money comes from the National Institute of Mental Health. The CDC says nearly 7 million children in the U.S. are diagnosed with ADHD. Researchers will study the kids' brains with a goal of finding more precise treatment options.
Political division and violence is a problem across the country right now. An event at Penn State last night focused on how we can all disagree better.
Charged, passionate, polarized. These are just a few words people are using to describe today's political climate, and this did not go unseen by Penn State's Schreier Honors College. Disagree Better is an event that the Honors College hosted at the Hub Robson Center inside Heritage Hall. It featured political journalists Scott Jennings and Molly Jongfast, who happen to disagree on a lot of things, but they were there to show people that common ground can be found.
No one should have to fear for their own safety. No one should have to fear censorship. No one should have to fear cancellation. No one should really have to fear participation in the democracy.
Recent political violence, including the Charlie Kirk killing, has led people to believe there has to be a better way.
I mean, we've had obviously some horrible cases in the news as of late, on a national scale. And I think this couldn't have come at a better time. And that's really my main takeaway from it.
Tonight's event introduced a lot of hot topics, but the attendees said that it was not only productive, but necessary in today's political climate.
Although politics can be polarizing, this event sure brought the Penn State community together.
I love my alma mater. And tonight, I have found a new way to be proud of it. Thank you very much.
During the event, the audience heard the panelists debate media bias, climate politics, and immigration and the law.
The biggest Penn State sports weekend of the year is here, the Whiteout Game, and that means packed hotels, restaurants, streets, and shops. It also means a logistics challenge for some fans and even the Oregon team. Reporter Amanda Vogt is live on campus with the story. Amanda?
And behind me is the set of ESPN's College Game Day. For fans who want to stand in the pit tomorrow morning, that's right behind the set itself. They can start lining up as early as 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. However, that might be a challenge considering hotels have been booked for months. Some Oregon fans are even staying 2 hours away. Even the Ducks team itself is reportedly staying in Altoona, an hour's drive away from State College. Let's take a For the first time since 1964, Oregon will travel to State College to play Penn State, but the Ducks will be staying almost an hour away. The Altoona Mirror reported Oregon is using the Blair County Convention Center and staying at the Country Inn and Suites by Radisson next door. The convention center provides plenty of space for Oregon to conduct meetings and walkthroughs. On Saturday, the team will have a police escort to Beaver Stadium. We asked Oregon why the team isn't staying in State College as other teams do, but the team refused to comment. With more than 110,000 fans expected in the stadium and thousands more in town, there's far more demand than available hotels and Airbnbs. Most hotels in State College have been sold out for months. James Franklin even talked about it.
Got people calling now, and I'm like, this game's been sold out forever. I got cousins that I haven't talked to in 20 years and high school friends I haven't talked to in 25 years that, hey, you got a whiteout ticket? Yeah, they're just laying around.
Prices for any available room are sky high, like nearly $700 a night at Altoona Marriott locations. Fans stay as far away as Altoona and Clearfield. Oregon offered travel packages for its fans looking to make the trip from the West Coast. All options sold out. Some Ducks fans will be staying 100 miles away in Hershey. Transportation is included in these packages, but that's nearly a 2-hour drive to Beaver Stadium, not including game day traffic. For more on the matchup itself, we'll have that later in sports. Live from Old Main, I'm Amanda Vogt. Back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. While many fans are traveling from hours away, some Penn State students are right outside the stadium. They've been sleeping outside at Nittanyville, all for a front row seat to the game. Reporter Hope Green stopped by the camp.
Rain or shine, for the last 20 years, in the shadow of Beaver Stadium, Penn State students have pitched tents and camped during game week. What started as Paternoville during Joe Paterno's time as coach is now Nittanyville. This week, even through the rain, the camp reached a season record with over 40 groups.
It's awesome to see that a lot more people are getting involved with Nittanyville, even if it's just a whiteout. Just hope that they keep coming back.
Nittanyville member Marcos Vasquez is one of those camping out, which gives them access to the first rows in the stadium on game day. Students camp overnight from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. They play trash can football, paint posters, catch up on homework, and meet special guests. The rain isn't stopping just Nittanyville campers. It didn't stop the football players from stopping by and showing their gratitude either. Penn State quarterbacks and tight ends made an appearance Thursday night with pizza for campers. Nittanyville President Aaron Klein says it's all in an effort to create what's been named the best student section in college football.
One goal was obviously we want to be the best student section in the country. We pride ourselves not only being one of the best student sections on this campus, but being recognized nationally.
In University Park, I'm Hope Green for the Center County Report.
Nittanyville students will camp outside Gate A until midnight tonight, then return at 4:30 p.m. to take their place in the front rows of the student section.
Penn State has joined forces with Abbott Health Group and the Big Ten Conference for the second annual We Give Blood Drive. All 18 Big Ten schools are in a race to see who can donate the most blood by December 5th. The competition helps tackle the nation's critical blood shortage.
There's Penn State fans literally everywhere, which is kind of nice. So we're just trying to not only get the word spread on campus, but also spread it throughout the nation so that people anywhere can donate and submit their point for Penn State.
Anyone can participate by donating at upcoming blood drives on campus or by crediting their donation to Penn State online at big10.org/Abbott.
Still to come on the Center County Report, it's finally been a rainy week.
And we've needed that rain, but will it dry out for the big game? We checked the weekend forecast. Also coming up, meet the artist who's been working on this mural in State College for the past 25 years.
When we first met Todd, he was singing a song, and I was like, wow, look. When we first met Todd, he was singing a song, and I was like, wow, look at this kid with the biggest smile.
Todd's a joy.
Yes.
Todd's really is a great joy.
And you. Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids are facing hunger every day? Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Keep going, keep going.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Hundreds of people walk down Heister Street in State College every day, and they pass a painting that stretches the length of the block.
But many don't know it's a fascinating story. Reporter Kaylee Tallman caught up with the man behind the mural.
Nestled in a corner on Heister Street, you'll find Michael Pilato, hunched over, paintbrush in hand, concentrating on the colorful masterpiece sprawled out in front of him. Pilato is a public artist and has been painting since he was a kid. He fell in love with murals when he noticed there was one behind him when he kissed his high school crush.
It was the backdrop for a moment in life, and I just really love that.
The mural here is one he's been working on for 25 years. Pilato started it as a kiss goodbye to State College when he left, filled with the people who inspired him. Since then, he's returned and continued to add to it, listening to the stories of those who have made a difference in the area. He hopes it's a reminder of the positive that can happen in a world increasingly filled with hate.
Just help each other out, especially when we see people falling.
The mural is a constant work in progress. Right now, he's adding former Penn State football star Saquon Barkley, Coach James Franklin, volleyball coach Katie Schumacher-Colley, and Jared McMullen. Jared was a boy battling a brain tumor who brought boxes full of activities so kids could play together at the hospital. When he passed away, his family and the State College community continued the tradition.
And it's growing all over the world. So a legacy of love from a 5-year-old.
Pilato says the people on this wall are more than just a name to him or something that happened to them.
Friends, it's not how long you live. It's what you do while you're alive that's important, you know?
As I'm running my hands along this mural, I'm running my hands along the stories of hundreds of incredible people who have made a difference in the State College community. Like Deirdre, for example, who started as Michael's next-door neighbor when she was a kid and has grown up to be a doctor researching the cure to many rare diseases. Now, Michael can tell you the stories of every single person on this wall.
There's a rip in his shirt. He was named after Jonah and the whale from the Bible. So if you look in the whale's mouth down here, you'll see the rip in the shirt, you know?
As people die over the years, Pilato adds halos to the mural. If you look closely, you'll also notice handprints too. They come from students, as well as family members and close friends of those painted on the wall. Pilato says the prints are the most important thing on the mural to him.
The ones that are out there that really, really make a difference, that change the hearts of people, they have one thing in common that splits into two directions. They found something in life that they're passionate about, and more importantly, they surround themselves with passionate people.
In State College, I'm Kaylee Tallman for the Center County Report.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Pretty impressive of those Nittanyville campers to sweep out in the rain, but it was very much needed. I say much needed because we actually saw the drought monitor come out yesterday and saw expansion to the drought. But with all this rain, though, that was not included in the drought monitor because the cutoff is Tuesday morning. We saw almost 2 inches of rain in State College and almost 3 inches of rain in Pittsburgh. That is almost what we got since August 1st to last week. Here outside of Beaver Stadium, though, skies are looking partly cloudy, a few clouds in the sky, getting ready for a big game day tomorrow against Oregon, big whiteout game. Temperature is sitting at 72 degrees. Nice, beautiful day is in store for today. And tomorrow will pretty much be the same, though. Can't more isolated shower. We'll see temperatures climb up into the mid to upper 70s today before dropping down to the low 60s to upper 50s for your overnight lows. Overall, temperatures will be about 5 to 10 degrees above average. Current satellite radar, just a few clouds across the eastern half of the state associated with the weak cold front that moved through. As we time things out for the day tomorrow, we'll see just a few clouds. We say you've seen a few showers to the south, but again, I think they'll mostly stay to the south. I looked at some recent model guidance, and that continues to suggest that the wind will stay to the south. But we do have to worry about a few scattered showers. If anything, though, it's going to be a nuisance, only lasts for 5 to 10 minutes throughout the game. So for game time tomorrow, I'm putting a temperature of about 67 degrees for kickoff. Most of the cloudy skies can't rule out that isolated shower, but again, if anything, it'll just be a nuisance. Today, though, we're forecasting the high of 76 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Tonight, we'll drop those low temperatures down to around 54 degrees, so about 5 degrees above average for this time of year. Partly cloudy skies. Then we got to watch for some fog early tomorrow morning with a temperature about 75 degrees. And then for that 7-day forecast, we are seeing temperatures, well, actually about above average. Average high is about 70 degrees for this time of year. Not seeing any rain in the foreseeable future, though, so hopefully that drought doesn't build up, but at least things will dry for whiteout. My first whiteout game, I'm very excited. I don't know about you guys.
I'm also very excited. Center County definitely needed this rain, but good thing that it's clearing out tomorrow.
Yeah, the game's going to be awesome. Hopefully the weather holds off. Now over to Kaylee Tallman with sports.
Coming up in sports, I sat down today with NBC sideline reporter Catherine Tappan ahead of the whiteout game. And as fans get amped up, we take a closer look at Penn State's preparations for the big game as the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks come to State College for the first time since the 1960s. Sports is next.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this is Chip. And if you're like me, your pets mean the world to you. And if disaster strikes, saving them is a priority. Learn how to keep your best friends safe at AmericanHumane.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Yeah.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I'm Kaylee Tallman with sports. Penn State's biggest football challenge of the season so far is here. The Whiteout game featuring 2 top 10 teams. Reporter Mike Landis is live near the ESPN College Game Day set as the excitement builds. Mike?
Iconic, electric, and unforgettable. The tradition that ESPN's Kirk Herbstreit calls the greatest show in college football is back. This year's Whiteout features number 3 Penn State and number 6 Oregon. Coach James Franklin thinks it could come down to a one-score game.
I expect this to be a 4-quarter battle that's going to come down to the end of the game. And I like how we're preparing to handle the moment.
Franklin called for fans to make it a game environment like no other. As the Nittany Lions prepare, they remember the last meeting with the Ducks, last season's Big Ten championship, won by Oregon by 8 points. But players say it's time to turn the page.
Yeah, that game last year, it's over with. It's a good reminder of how things went, things like that. But we're focused on this team now. It's a new team, but still some of the same guys. We just got to go out there, prepare for them, focus on us, and we'll see what we need to fix.
Quarterback Drew Aller, along with 12 other starters, returned this season. Oregon has a revamped roster led by quarterback Dante Moore. Penn State players had a bye week to give them more prep time for a game with national title implications.
Yeah, I'm very motivated. Not just me, the whole coaching staff, the whole team. We're very motivated. We're just taking one day at a time. We had a good practice today, and we're just gonna have a good practice tomorrow, Friday, and then up to Saturday. So.
NBC will broadcast tomorrow night's game, and just this morning I had a chance to catch up with sideline reporter Catherine Tappan about the Whiteout. Explain to people at home just how big this game is from a playoff perspective, Big Ten perspective.
Yeah, I mean, Big Ten, it's massive. There's nothing bigger, and I think in the country this weekend there's nothing bigger because this is a top 10, 2 teams that are undefeated, 2 teams that have gone against one another in big games, like we saw with the Big Ten championship last year with these 2 teams. So it's massive. It's a national spotlight on this game, and it will not disappoint.
You've already talked to Oregon. What's the most interesting takeaway you've had from them?
These guys are ready. They're not intimidated at all, they say. They've been practicing and they've been preparing with loud noise and, speakers at practice, and they've been trying to simulate what that sound is going to be like. It's going to be hard to, make a call at the line of scrimmage. So obviously we're going to see the silent count a lot with the offense. But they're ready to go.
If you're not watching the game on TV, you can listen live on Penn State Com Radio. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. Now over to high school football. Let's take a look at some of the key games on tonight's schedule. The Bellwood Antis Blue Devils look to continue their 2-game win streak on the road against Phillipsburg Osceola. The Mountaineers have won the previous 2 meetings between the schools. It's homecoming for Hollidaysburg. The Golden Tigers have gone 5-0 to start the season, but they're welcoming Fort Hill, which has gone 7-0 against Hollidaysburg in recent years. And State College hits the road to take on Central Dauphin at 7 p.m. The Little Lions are 4-1 so far this season. The 8th-ranked Penn State women's hockey team is wrapping up its first series of the season later today against 9th-ranked St. Lawrence. Last night, the Nittany Lions took the ice for the first time this season. Kaylin Roberts scored the first goal of the game on a Penn State power play. Nicole Hall doubled the lead for the Nittany Lions just 20 seconds later, taking advantage of a rebound in front of the net. Penn State went on to beat the Saints 3-0. Now it's a big week in sports, big weekend coming up. There's just been an energy around campus all week. What have you guys noticed?
It's a super exciting weekend for this school. Very fun to be on campus this weekend for sure.
Yeah, campus is absolutely rocking and the juice is flowing. It's going to be one of the biggest Penn State weekends.
Thanks, Kaylee. Coming up next, we talk with a sports fan from Ireland who's coming to the Whiteout. It's part of his unique goal to get a lot that's
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
There's been another deadly shooting at a local elementary school. According to authorities, the suspect acquired the gun from a family member's home before using it to take the lives of innocent children and teachers.
Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
College football fans are intense and passionate. Here's an example. One superfan is trying to attend 14 games in 14 weeks while documenting it all on TikTok. Meet Dave Geary. He's an Ireland native now living in New York. Geary is a TikToker who has been documenting his college football challenge. Before moving to New York, he lived in Vancouver and remained a huge college football fan. There were more available games in the U.S. than Canada, so he started booking trips. Before he knew it, he had 8 trips planned. And that's where the idea for his 14 in 14 challenge was born. This weekend, Geary is coming to town to attend his biggest bucket list item, the Penn State Whiteout.
Like this genuinely, and this isn't me pandering, has been like top of my bucket list for years upon years of all sporting events. I've been to a range of different sporting events.
Well, we sure hope he enjoys his time in Happy Valley. That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us on Tuesday for our next local news update.
You can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good weekend.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us. Operation Homefront, they've really been a blessing.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
The new Walk EMS experience was so uplifting. All of us are coming together, not only for that walk day, but for every day.
I love the energy at Walk MS. It is community, it is family. I can ride that high for the rest of the year.
A cure is on the line for me.
A cure is on the line for all of us.
After the Whistle starts at Tiger Field, where Wildcats quarterback Chad Martin launches a last-second pass to Jackson Marr before getting sacked. Let's take a look at this play again. Martin takes a look downfield, throws a dart. Lucky for him, Marr was at the right place at the right time. Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. Our crews just got back from that game and many others from around District 6. Live from University Park, I'm Jenna Wisman.
And I'm Owen Camaros. We'll bring you all those highlights and show you how Penn State is using its bye week to get ready for their next matchup, right here on After the Whistle. Tonight, the Blue Devils traveled just 8 miles to Veterans Memorial Field to take on the Golden Eagles in the 85th Backyard Brawl. Bellwood Antis, they would start off with a kickoff. They kick it off to Tyrone to begin this exciting matchup. Disaster strikes, though, as the Golden Eagles, while the ball pops out, it gets recovered by Jeffrey Waite of the Blue Devils deep in Tyrone territory. The Blue Devils would capitalize off of the turnover, as you can see right here in a moment. They capitalized off it as Alex McCartney would push his way through the defense to score 6. Look at that touchdown right there, just rumbling his way through, power rushing from him. Late in the first quarter, Chase Plummer anticipates a Tyrone pass, and he picks it off. He's going to take it all the way to the house. Blue Devils up 14-0. Bellwood Antis would reclaim their title as the Backyard Brawl champions, winning 26-7. Bellwood Antis advances to 3-2 on the season and will travel to Phillipsburg Osceola to take on the Mountaineers. Tyrone, on the other hand, they move to 3-2 and will look to take on Bishop Guilfoyle. Our reporter Chris Vadney captured all the action the Backyard Brawl had to offer. Chris?
Thanks, Owen. Listen, tonight you sent me to a football game, but there must have been some sort of mistake because I just got back from the cinema. Take a look for yourself.
Tyrone and Bellwood Antis met for the 85th installment of the Backyard Brawl. The stands packed, the energy high, and Bellwood beat back rival Tyrone.
A lot of our coaching staff are Bellwood guys, so we kind of grew up with this rivalry just like our kids have grown up with the rivalry. Whenever you have two great communities like Bellwood and Tyrone going at each other, this atmosphere was awesome. This is something I told our kids before the game, like, you have to enjoy the moment.
Chase Plummer snagged this interception and ran it all the way to the house early on in this game, which sparked a number of Bellwood big plays.
It's definitely a special moment, I saw him pump to the side, and I just knew that ball was mine. Yeah, I've had a pick six before. That was definitely energizing. This is a big game. I'm glad it happened here.
The Backyard Brawl is special. You saw the highlights. You saw the pick six earlier in this game as Bellwood Antis would go on to force 3 more turnovers, taking the win over the Golden Eagles here at Veterans Memorial Field. Alex McCartney was a man making some memories. He rushed for 3 touchdowns tonight after the Blue Devils lost this game 2 years ago.
We lost 34-0. Then I tore my ACL, and I just remembered that. I sat over there with my dad, and I remember him saying, "Remember this," and I remembered it tonight.
This trophy has seen 20 different Backyard Brawls, and now it's back in Bellwood.
Bellwood Antis will carry the momentum as they look to face Phillipsburg Osceola next week.
3-1, Phillipsburg Osceola travels to face Bald Eagle. The Eagles have won the previous 13 meetings against the Mountaineers. Can they keep their streak going? The Eagles run out onto the field prior to kickoff, looking to get back in the win column. After a scoreless first quarter, Phillipsburg Osceola would punch it in with Colton Chapman for the 3-yard rushing touchdown. Mountaineers up 7-0 after the extra point. Later in the second quarter, Bald Eagle would respond with their own rushing touchdown from Nick McCulley. The Eagles would tie it up with an extra point, 7-7. Now with just under a minute to go in the half, Bald Eagle quarterback Graydon Fisher would take it all the way for the 17-yard score to give the Eagles the lead.
Ooh, just dancing through defenders.
Bald Eagle continues their winning against Phillipsburg Osceola, winning 21-14. Bald Eagle moves to 2-3 and will travel to Bellefonte for the Curtin Bowl next week, while Phillipsburg Osceola moves to 3-2 and will face Bellwood Antis at home next Friday.
Yeah, that Bald Eagle quarterback, he has some big shoes to fill, but he's doing it well. Bellefonte and Penns Valley both entered this matchup on losing streaks. For one of those teams, that would change tonight. With 3 minutes left in the first quarter, you can see the beautiful sunset with the tower right in the background. Now 3 minutes left in the first quarter, quarterback Ashton Howell charges in for a 13-yard touchdown. Just dancing through, just a couple of little moves. He fumbled the football, but he was already in, so it didn't matter. Later in the second, Penns Valley's Carter Ironside, he creates that twin connection with his brother to brother, and Fletcher would score the 15-yard touchdown. End of the first half, Carter Ironside, he lobs one up. Seth Fedorov, who gets it and runs it in for the buzzer beater touchdown. The Rams, they went up 20-14 at the break. That being said, it wouldn't be enough. Bellefonte, they mounted a second half comeback, and they won 27-20, the win over the Rams. The Rams, they fall to 0-5. They'll look to rebound next week against Clearfield. The Raiders, they move to 2-3 on the year. They'll hope to keep that same energy when they face off against Bald Eagle.
Chambersburg comes to State College on a 2-game losing streak, and history is not on the Trojans' side. They've lost 21 straight to the Little Lions.
Ouch.
False start for State College as they take the opening drive all the way down to the 1-yard line, and Connor Kolka punches it in on the keeper. First drive for the Trojans stalls near midfield as Cam Green's shot down the sideline gets picked off by A.J. Fry.
I thought he was the receiver there.
Early in the second, Shane Markowski kicks a 37-yard field goal to go up 10-0. And look at this energy in the stands. It's white out for their homecoming. 4 minutes left in the first half. Kolka launches a 31-yard touchdown to Hank Lustig. His second touchdown of the quarter puts the Little Lions up 24-0. State College took that lead into halftime and kept the shutout the rest of the way, winning 40-0. The Trojans fall to 2-3 while the Little Lions move to 4-1 and travel to Central Dauphin next.
Homecoming season has arrived in Center County and District 6. State High held their homecoming parade, kicking off the festivities yesterday. Their theme was Write Your Script in 25-26. The party, as you can see the State High with the camera and the movie on the screen, the party continued though to Memorial Field as they crowned Max Hernkane and Kenna Whitehurst homecoming king and queen. Penns Valley also had their homecoming tonight with Luke Ruoff and Ellie Romig taking home the crown. Also coming up, teams are looking to rekindle a rivalry that's been one-sided since before COVID.
And highlights from a battle between two teams looking to keep their undefeated seasons alive.
First, though, it's a look at scores from around District 6. The Penn Cambria Panthers travel to play the Central Cambria Red Devils. Our reporter Nico Rodriguez was at the game.
Thanks, guys. Central Cambria hosted Penn Cambria in the Battle of the Cambrias. Penn Cambria absolutely dominated in what was supposed to be a back-and-forth showdown. The Penn Cambria Panthers came out of the gate swinging. One of the key players on the defensive squad for the Panthers is junior Corbin Vinglish. He's a two-way player who plays linebacker and running back. Entering tonight, Vinglish leads the team with 8.5 tackles per game. Head coach Jason Grassi says Vinglish is one of the leaders of this team.
We look for him to do a lot for us, like I said, both sides of the football, and he's the heart and soul of our team right now, and he's a heck of a player.
Last week in the win against Bedford, Vinglish tallied 9 solo tackles. Again tonight, Vinglish played a huge part of the 36-0 shutout.
We just love to pound the ball, and, we try our hardest to just do that and execute through the week, and that's what we did.
Tonight, he found success on the offensive side of the ball, finding the end zone 3 times throughout the game. That puts his touchdown total up to 7 on the young season. Vinglish stands at 5'11", 210 pounds, and plays aggressive football.
I mean, he doesn't want to come off the field. He's a competitor, and he's one of those guys that you don't like to take off the field, and but you have to once in a while to give him some rest.
With the schools being just 15 minutes apart, the Panthers were able to lift the trophy for another year, in what was more than just a game.
It was a hate week. We knew coming into the game it was going to be tough, and they were just going to try to pound the ball, so we just came out and stopped them.
This is the 6th time Penn Cambria has beat Central Cambria in the Battle of the Cambrias. Now back to you guys.
We'll get to Bishop Guilfoyle highlights next, but first, a PIAA decision that affects parochial schools across the state. On Monday, a federal court order now allows for student athletes at faith-based private schools to be PIAA eligible for their public school district's fall sports teams if they're parochial. School does not offer the sport. The PIAA expects to amend its bylaws in October. Now to the Bishop Guilfoyle at Central highlights. The Central Dragons played host to Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders tonight. The Dragons are 1-1 so far at home. You can see Central coming out here ready for some action in this matchup. We'll start in the first. Early lead to go up 3, setting the tone. Both teams went back and forth until 11 minutes into the second, where Jake Kissel runs to the outside for an easy 6. The Marauders aren't done yet. They get this huge interception by Jack Troyoka. BG would then drive down the field to give it to none other than Jake Kissel once again, now up 17-0. A few drives back and forth led to BG getting another quick field goal before the half. BG continued their dominance over the Dragons, winning 49-7. Bishop Guilfoyle moves to 4-1 and will go and take on Tyrone, and Central moves to 1-4 and next week takes on Huntington on the road.
Altoona takes the trip down Route 22 to face off against, well, it's CD East, and these two teams are ready to go. Altoona quarterback Parker White, you can see him there. He's looking to get out of trouble. Look at this play. He's going to roll left, he's going to roll right, he's going to look around, and guess what he's going to do? Just wait for it now. Launches up and uncorks a 50-yard bomb.
What a catch,
to Michael Chisholm. Chisholm catches it and is forced out of bounds. That play would help set up this Altoona running back touchdown. Julian Hazelwood will burrow his way into the end zone to put Altoona up 7-0. Second quarter, 9 seconds on the clock. It's Hazelwood again. You can see it right here on your screen after we get through the celebrations. There's a discussion between the two teams. It's Hazelwood. Here you go. He makes one man miss, then he makes 2 more. He's off to the races. House call for him. The Mountain Lions, they would do absolutely fantastically here. 14-point lead at the break, and that would be all she wrote. Altoona would hold on and pick up the 14-0 win. Altoona, they move to 2-3 on the year. They welcome Bishop McDevitt to Mansion Park next week.
2 unbeaten teams met in Hollidaysburg as the Golden Tigers faced the Mifflinburg Wildcats of District 4. Tonight was the Tigers' annual sideline cancer game. In the first quarter, the Tigers quarterback Cole DeLatre finds Josh Banks, who dives into the end zone for the game's first score. Later in the quarter, Mifflinburg quarterback Chad Martin airs it out to Landon Murray, who breaks a tackle and runs it in for the first Wildcat score. Then on the ensuing kickoff, Carter Mew finds a lane, makes a cut, and goes 85 yards for a kick return touchdown, which put the Tigers up 2 scores.
And he didn't even really get touched. I mean, he had one man to beat, but other than that, the blocking, wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's off. He's all the way into the end zone. Hollidaysburg went on to win by a final score of 49-14. The Tigers improved to 5-0 and will face Fort Hill at home next week. Mifflinburg drops to 4-1 and will return home to face Milton next week. Coming up, the Nittany Lions have a week of rest before a rematch of last year's Big Ten championship.
And most college athletes are in their late teens or earlier 20s. But just how old is one of Lycoming College's newest additions to their football team?
And now first, some more scores from around the state. Penn State heads into the bye week at 3-0. They are taking a break to prepare for their biggest challenge yet, taking on the number 6 team in the country, according to the Associated Press. Our reporter, Rob DiLorenzo, has more.
Penn State is on a bye week, but have quite the task ahead in 2 weeks when they face the number 6 ranked Oregon Ducks. The Nittany Lions were 2-0 coming out of bye weeks last year. Head coach James Franklin has a simple answer to how the team handles these weeks.
Bye week, we're focused on Penn State. We're getting a head start, obviously, on Oregon, but I'd say it's 50% focusing just on Penn State and getting better, and 50% on getting a head start on our opponent. And then next week should be the same as it was week 1 and week 2 and week 3 inside our football facility.
Nittany Lions have had 3 wins to start the season, a perfect opportunity for the team to create an identity and get used to some new faces.
Obviously, with 3 new receivers, getting those guys, comfortable and building chemistry with Drew, we thought was important, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that. We still obviously have work to do, and then obviously just the confidence in the execution of the new stuff on defense, so that we can play fast.
Coach Franklin also added that the bye week creates a week to get better and opens up opportunities for everyone to get reps, seeing what young talent can shine through as the season goes on. Reporting for After the Whistle, this is Rob DiLorenzo.
Oregon swims into a sea of white in Beaver Stadium next Saturday for the annual Whiteout game.
On Wednesday, the NCAA announced it is eliminating the spring transfer portal. They will move to a single offseason portal and will talk about modifying the January transfer window in the future. In the initial proposal, players couldn't enter the transfer portal until January 2nd.
Let's move back to high school football. Owen, we've seen plenty of top plays tonight. Let's turn to Quinn O'Leary to see the best.
Thanks, guys. It was a battlefield out there in District 6 tonight. Let's take a look at what made our top 3 plays. We started the show with this play, but it had to make the top plays too. Chad Martin staying alive, looking like vintage Ben Roethlisberger to find Jackson Marr. Number 2 takes us to Penn's Valley, where Carter Ironside pulls out one of his tricks and delays enough to lob it over 3 Bellefonte defenders to Seth Federolf, and here he goes, rumbling through defenders all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. And at number 1, it's Graydon Fisher for Bald Eagle, calling his own number on the keeper, breaking free through Mount G's defenders for the score. It's certainly clear that District 6 is not here to play around, and it's bringing the energy to Friday Night Lights. Back to you at the desk.
One of the newest members of the Lycoming college football team is a lot different than your average college student. Tom Sillo had a career, a family, and a dream. The 58-year-old is a first-year student and defensive lineman at Lycoming College. Head coach Mike Clark let Sillo try out, and he proved himself. The Williamsport native is more than twice the age of his teammates, but his motivation is just as strong.
I thought, I'm going to give this a shot, and I'm going to write the script. I'm not going to let somebody talk me out of this or self-doubt pull me back.
Sillo hasn't seen any action this season, but Coach Clark says he's a valuable member of the team, whose discipline and life experience sets a good example for other players. And man, he has had a lot of life experience. It's good to see him out there. I'm just hoping that he, at his age, he's still able to keep up with the young kids.
Yeah, I mean, at 58 years old, I can't imagine being a first-year student in college, but I mean, it's incredible. It's definitely a great story, and I'm excited to see where he goes with it.
Hey, you always talk about second opportunities. Well, there you go. That's a second opportunity for him. And college football, it's no joke, even at Lycoming College. So, hey, good on him. Let's see how he does.
Exactly.
That's going to do it for us this week on After the Whistle. For more updates about our show and our coverage of games, follow us on X and Instagram at ATWPSU. I'm Owen Camaros.
And I'm Jenna Wisman. Tune in next week for more coverage around District 6 and, of course, Penn State football right here on After the Whistle.
After the whistle starts in Mifflin County, where Hershey quarterback Cam Sweeney drops back, evades a tackle, and heaves the ball deep downfield for a wide-open Grant Later, who runs the ball into the end zone for an easy 6 points. Let's watch that back, but let's slow it down. This play was as sweet as milk chocolate for Hershey, but would it be enough for them to topple the Huskies?
That play makes me want to go to Hershey Park after that.
I'll take your offer on it. Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. Our crews just got back from that game and many others from around District 6. Live from University Park, I'm Jack Rachinsky.
And I'm Kennedy Rivers. We will bring you game highlights and a look into Penn State football upcoming game right here on After the Whistle. It was a double overtime thriller last week at Memorial Field in State College, and the Little Lions fell 3 points short to Harrisburg. Tonight, they were facing another mid-Penn Commonwealth foe, the Cumberland Valley Eagles. First off, the class of 2038 sprints down the field. Late in the first quarter, State College up 3-0. It's Rowan Walker taking the handoff, going beast mode on his way up to the house, and the Little Lions up 10-0. Early in the second, it's Colton Stanley pump faking before firing it down the far sidelines by Zayden Smith. He's running down the sidelines. He'll go all the way back to the Cumberland Valley within 3. Midway through the third, it's Connor Kolka roll out the pocket and throws it deep down the field to find wide open Kellen Williams, who runs it into the end zone to State College, makes it 17-7. State College gets back into the win column, beating Cumberland Valley 24-14. The Little Lions advance to 3-1 on the year, while the Eagles fall to 1-3. We now turn it over to Massimo Bonagoria, who was at the game. Tell us more.
Thanks, Kennedy. Well, Dante Sheffy might have been out for this game, but they were able to shine and they were able to defeat the Cumberland Valley Eagles.
State College running back Dante Sheffy may have been out for today's game, but he won't be out for the rest of the season.
We're just focused on us right now. So obviously staying healthy, getting healthy, those are all key things. Try to maintain depth and give guys breaks so that we're fresh is really important as well.
With Sheffy out, the Little Lions gave running back Rowan Walker the start, and he came up big for State College in their win over Cumberland Valley.
Not surprised at all. I knew that this is who Rowan is. He's a warrior. He's out there every snap on defense. He is toting the load on the offensive side. He runs so hard, so passionate. So I'm super proud.
I was ready since week one, even before the season, to step up when I needed to and make plays to help the team win.
How often can a team dominate a football game without their star Division I player? You've seen Dante Sheffy perform right here at Memorial Field, but tonight he was on the sideline in street clothes.
It's tough, running so much, getting banged up every play, but you got to stay tough mentally and physically and keep pushing through it for the team.
I'm out here in the middle of the field, and sometimes you got to rely on your big fellas up front, and that's exactly what the Little Lions did today to control the pace of the game and run the ball effectively.
We had a 2-score lead, so being able to kind of slow that down and get the ball down in the end zone, and Connor made a couple nice throws on that as well. Got Jake Lukak in for the score.
State College moves back into the win column and will look to stay there as the season goes on.
State College moves to 3-1 and will look to face Chambersburg for homecoming. Back to you guys.
It's the battle of the birds. Golden Eagles versus Bald Eagles.
Pennsylvania is known for their Eagles team, though.
Well, is this Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, or is this Tyrone's Eli Woomer to Braden Parsons? Woomer throwing it down the field. Parsons getting behind the defense, and they're not going to catch him. It's an 80-yard scamper for the Tyrone touchdown. Still in the first, it's Caleb Iron. He's going to try a quick pass to Kyler Sahoney. He's going to knock it up and rumble 49 yards with a pick six. Make it 14-0 Golden Eagles. And who says tipping culture's dead? Early in the second, it's Bald Eagle driving, and they're going to dip into the bag of tricks. Iron to Fisher to Jackson Millward on the double pass to get the Bald Eagles on the board, 14-7. Both teams added a touchdown in the second half, but Tyrone would take it, 21-14. The Golden Eagles move to 3-1 and take on Bellwood Antis next week in a backyard brawl. Bald Eagle area falls to 1-3 and hosts PO next.
The Penn Valley Rams are searching for their first victory. They travel to Phillipsburg, Osceola tonight to face the Mounties. End of the first quarter, Archer Bovman hands it off to Colton Chapman, who rushes it in. The Mounties go for two and get it and on the board, 8-0. They continue their momentum, but Kyle Conrad forces his fumble out of Robert McClanahan, but the refs talk it over, and it remains PO's ball. Boffman decides to do it for himself, running in for the touchdown with 2:04 left in the half to put the Mounties up 22-0. Carter Ironside tries to right the ship for this team, but his ball is tipped by his own brother and recovered by Boffman. P.O. has all the momentum going into the half. The Mounties will go on to win 39-0, shutting out the Rams. P.O. moves to 3-1, while the Penn Valley will look for the first win of the season in Week 5.
Clearfield's looking to make it 3 straight wins tonight as they travel to face Bellefonte, who are looking to bounce back from a rough start to their year. Students and fans were in full attendance for Bellefonte's annual Fawn Game, kicking off with a pregame ceremony held by the school. After Bellefonte's opening drive came up short, Clearfield, on a night that was for the kids, will be the first one to go for the score, as Xavier Curry finds Cooper Brode and sets the tone, putting the Bison up 6-0. Right after, this kickoff is going to go down to the 2-yard line from Clearfield and allows them to get a safety on the ensuing drive, putting them up 8-0. Special teams coming into a big factor. Bison 3rd and goal. Colton Ryan's going to barrel through the gap, spins outside, dives for the goal line. He's in. Clearfield up 15-0. Raiders ball, they're driving, 8 seconds left. Look out. The ball is free. It's picked up, but Bellefonte's going to end the first half scoreless. The Raiders would fight back in the second half and force OT, but the Bison would stay on top. Final score, 22-18. Clearfield moves to 3-1 and will host Huntington next week. Bellefonte goes down to 1-3 and travels to Penns Valley.
Don't go anywhere. We have more games from around the area to cover.
Plus, we take a look at Richmond and Bishop McCourt's annual Salute to Service game to find out how much money they raised for this year's special cause.
There's still plenty of action we haven't gotten to cover yet, including crosstown rivals from Cambria County.
Bishop McCourt remains undefeated against yesterday's game against Richland. The teams were competing against each other, but joined together in remembrance of the September 11th attacks 24 years ago yesterday. Bishop McCourt sported a FDNY football jersey on their sideline, as well as the cheerleaders wearing Salute to Service shirts. Let's head to the game now. Into the first quarter, McCourt's Bentley Bainey hits John D'Elia for the 4-yard receiving touchdown to make it 7-0 Crimson Crushers early. Now let's go to the end of the half, and we're going to say this name again, John D'Elia. He's going to take the handoff down the near sideline. He's going to bounce off some tackles, and look out, he can fly. He's going to go 77 yards down the sideline to the house, putting them up 21-6. And now we're going to head into the fourth quarter. Richland's Jacob Regan, he's going to try and fire it down the field. He's going to look for Arlen McGuera, but Bentley Bainey, in a tribute to Lee Corso, says, "Not so fast, my friend," returning the interception all the way to midfield. Bishop McCourt would go on to win 31-12 over Richland. McCourt remains undefeated at 4-0, while Richland falls to 3-1. And our reporter, Mac Leach, was there yesterday to tell us about this special game. Mac?
Thanks, Jack. Although both these teams went into the game undefeated, this Thursday night game on September 11th was about more than winning. The game between Richland and Bishop McCourt High School was about much more than football. The teams played just 32 miles from where United Airlines Flight 93 crashed 24 years ago. This matchup served as a reminder of the lives lost on September 11th, giving the crowd an opportunity to honor and remember the victims. Every year, Bishop McCourt and Richland set aside their crosstown rivalry for something bigger than themselves in their annual Salute to Service game.
Talked about the heroes that day, and if we could emulate them a little bit on this night tonight and come out here and play for them and play like they would want us to because of what they did for our country, that we'd be all right.
Ahead of kickoff, the two schools held a 48-hour t-shirt fundraiser benefiting the K9's Titan Watch Foundation. The organization supports K9 units in Cambria County in memory of Johnstown Police Department K9 Officer Titan. Titan was killed in the line of duty nearly 5 years ago. The schools raised $3,330, which was presented to the foundation at halftime. To further honor 9/11 first responders, Bishop McCourt placed an FDNY jersey on their sideline bench as a visible tribute throughout the game.
We were paying homage to the firefighters in New York that passed away on that day in 2001. So that, they have a fire department football team. and we took a liking to that and thought that the kids would as well, and they did.
McCourt may have won the game, but both teams were united in remembering and honoring heroes, past and present. If you would like to donate to the K9's Titans Watch Foundation, go to their website at titanswatch.org. Back to you, Kennedy.
Now to a game in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division between the Central Dauphin Rams and the Altoona Mountain Lions. This is the 7th game of this series, and CD winning the previous 6. Altoona shows off their fancy scoreboard graphics.
That's some high-tech stuff.
Now into the second quarter with the game tied at 7. Number 18, Cody Chasmuds, takes the handoff, bounces the outside, slips 2 tackles, and races down the field for a gain of 29 yards. The Altoona drive would stall after the play, and CD would get a score to go up 14-7. And on the ensuing kickoff, it's Luke Geisenhower taking this kickoff to the 40. Later in the drive, it's Parker White tossing this one to Gage Hallian, but he is stripped, and Central Dauphin comes up with the football at the 25-yard line. CD would go on to a long drive to end this half, capped off by this field goal by Robbie Jimenez to give the Rams a 17-7 halftime lead. The Rams would ride this momentum into a 38-21 victory. Central Dauphin moves to 2-2 in the season, while Altoona drops to 1-3. After a 1-point win over Central Cambria last week, Bedford returns to the area to face Penn Cambria. The Panthers are sprinting out. Look at the home crowd roar.
I always love their entrance.
Love the smoke too. Starting off in the first quarter, the Panthers marching until Blake Lilly fumbles as Bedford plays. Wagoners claims the possession of the ball for the Bison.
Great awareness.
Bedford would then fumble this one into a 1-yard touchdown. Gabriel Taylor to take the lead 7-0. Into the second quarter, PC would answer with a 1-yard touchdown to their own Corbin Minglesh. At the beginning of the second half, the Panthers would hand it to Ian Beck for the 4-yard touchdown rush to take 14-10 lead after the failed 2-point conversion attempt. Penn Cambria would go on to defeat Bedford 35-10. The Panthers advance to 3-1 in the season, and the Bison fall to 1-3.
The Mifflin County Huskies welcome the Hershey Trojans to their new stadium that opened on August 22nd. This is the 6th time these two teams have met since Mifflin County switched mid-Ped divisions. Let's start off with Hershey's dual-threat quarterback Cam Sweeney. You see him there using his legs. He can use his arms as well, but he'll use his legs for the offensive 20-yard touchdown to strike first. And on their next drive, it'd be a pass interference on a 3rd and long that would lead to a jet sweep touchdown from their senior Grant Later, extending the lead to 14-0. He says, "See you later," on this run to the house. On their next play, Sweeney would heave the ball down the field once again, connecting with his man Great Later, this time for a 60-yard touchdown, taking the deep shot, evading the tackles, and gets in for 6. Hershey not letting off the throttle. The Trojans would win 27-7 to advance to 3-1, and the Huskies would fall to 2-2 in a tough loss at home. Next week, Hershey goes home to Lower Dauphin to hope to make it their 3rd win in a row, as Mifflin County will try to bounce back as they face the Shippensburg Greyhounds.
Coming up, Penn State gets ready for tomorrow's games against the in-state squad, Villanova.
But first, here are some final scores from around Pennsylvania. The Penn State Nittany Lions are off to a 2-0 start this season, and Andrew Matz has more on them.
Thanks, Jack. Penn State is the #2 team in the country. They welcome in one of the biggest cats in the Keystone State as Villanova makes the trek to Happy Valley.
Following a 34-0 victory over the FIU Panthers, Penn State is currently 2-0 to start the season. The Nittany Lions now look ahead to the Villanova Wildcats. It's the final non-conference game before Penn State begins Big Ten play against Oregon in the whiteout. But Coach James Franklin is focused on Villanova.
We got a ton of respect for Villanova, how they play, how competitive they've been year in and year out.
A key to the Nittany Lions' success is the defense, most notably the defensive line. After losing key players like Abdul Carter, others have had to step up. Denai Dennis-Sonnen, who has 4.5 tackles for loss this season, is one of them. Other players have noticed.
Especially the couple games that Denies had, he definitely draws a lot of attention to himself.
Dennis Sutton isn't the only defensive lineman with a great season so far. Both veteran defensive tackles Zane Durant and Alonzo Ford are tied for the team lead in interceptions. Xavier Gillum says he's striving to be a future All-American one day, and Durant is a great player to look up to.
So just being able to look at that and see what it looks like, is really helpful for me.
The Nittany Lions defense has held their opponents to 11 points this season. The last time these two teams met was 2021, and the Nittany Lions beat the Wildcats by 21 points.
They got a veteran coaching staff that's done a great job. They came in last time and gave us fits.
The Nittany Lions look to improve to 3-0 on the season. Kickoff is set for 3:30 tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Jack, we've seen plenty of action tonight, but let's turn it to our very own Joey Gibber for the best moments.
Thanks, guys. There was a ton of action around District 6 tonight. Let's take a look at what made our top 3 plays. Coming in at number 3, State High running back Rowan Walker doesn't do a lot of walking here as he breaks through a total of 7 tackles and gets the Little Lions their first touchdown of the night. Extra effort there on that play. Now a look at Tyrone's defensive lineman Kyler Sahoni tapping it up to himself and bringing in the interception. Sahoni then turns on the Jets and runs it all the way back for a Golden Eagle pick 6, a big man touchdown. And topping our plays this week is Cameron Sweeney with his second top 3 play of the night. The Hershey quarterback once again getting away from defenders in the backfield and launching the ball in the air, dropping it right into the basket for receiver Grant Lader, who had a walk-in touchdown for the Trojans. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Those were some great plays, and you can really see that District 6 football is starting to heat up.
And now State High is a 2-point conversion away from tying this game.
Motioning over to the right is Vendemia, looking for him again, on the flat right, going in, and they'll say that he is. Let's see what he says, he's in! 34-34, we're all tied up, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we'll have a little bit of time because of the injury that we have here. It is Vendemia who is down. Free football at Memorial Field. It's overtime.
What a game between State College and Harrisburg last Friday night. We have a full deep dive on that double overtime thriller here on our YouTube channel at Penn State Student Media. Follow our staff as they rush to get coverage on air under pressure. Well, Kenny, are you excited for all the football this weekend?
I'm ready. What's your team are you rooting for this weekend?
Well, I'm a Steelers fan, playing Seattle, hopefully go 2-0 in the season. What about you?
I'm a Lions fan. I'm born and raised in Detroit. Got to watch my Lions for this year.
Fingers crossed for Jared Goff and the guys.
Yes.
But that's going to do it for this week on After the Whistle. For more updates about our show and our coverage of games, follow us on X and Instagram at ATWPSU. I'm Jack Rachinsky.
And I'm Kennedy Rivers. Tune in next week for more coverage around District 6 and, of course, Penn State football right here on After the Whistle.
It's a stunning Asian country with huge mountains, lakes, and bustling cities. But it also features thousands of miles of rich farmland and a history of nomads.
This is Kazakhstan, the 9th largest nation in the world.
Our team of Penn State student journalists traveled here to tell the stories of the Kazakh people and how their country is gaining new importance and respect in a fast-changing world. This is the Center County Report in Kazakhstan. Salem and hello from Almaty, Kazakhstan. I'm Yeya Wan.
And I'm Allie Satterfield. Thank you for joining us for the Center County Report special. We're going to take you around this beautiful and unique city and country to bring you some of the interesting stories making news here.
First, a look at where we are. Kazakhstan is in Central Asia. Its neighbors are China to the east, Russia to the north, and other former Soviet republics to the south. It's more than 6,000 miles from central Pennsylvania. A former Soviet satellite, Kazakhstan is now making moves to cement itself as a leader in Central Asian relations and a key nation on the changing world stage. I asked Kazakh citizens what the vision for their country looks like. Shokan Lalmulin is a professor at the Kazakh British Technical University in Almaty. He's content with his life in a prosperous and independent Kazakhstan, but he still holds fond memories of Soviet times. He remembers the shock he felt in 1991 when the Soviet Union collapsed.
It was really strange, surreal thing. Personally, I couldn't believe that such a powerful bastion could fall.
For many younger Kazakhs, Lalmulin's nostalgia for the Soviet era is surprising and a journey into a past they have no interest in reviving.
And when my grandmother, for now, and my mother, when they are talking about Soviet Union and the time when they lived there, they really liked it. Of course, everyone who is privileged will like it.
Shalkar Nursaitov leads the Center of Policy Solutions, a think tank based in Almaty. One of his areas of expertise is Kazakhstan's multi-vector policy. It's a foreign relations strategy that aims to maintain good diplomatic and trade relations with multiple global powers rather than aligning with a single one. Kazakhstan shares borders with Russia and China, making it well-positioned for a multi-vector policy. 34 years after independence, it's reaping the benefits of good relations with both countries, as well as with the European Union and the United States. It's become a transportation and logistics hub for China's Belt and Road Initiative, connecting supply chains between East Asia and Europe. It has vast oil, gas, and other mineral resources that are in worldwide demand. And it's fostering robust educational exchanges with the top universities in the world. The strategy sounds good on paper, but it's not without critics.
Our foreign policy can be described as successful enough, but at the same time is not strong enough to pursue our national interests in the global world.
One reason? Its powerful neighbor to the north still exerts considerable influence.
Kazakhstan has become more dependent in terms of politics on the Kremlin.
Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, some worry that Russia could eventually set its sights on Kazakhstan.
We have seen the reaction of the Russia for the Ukraine to join the NATO. That's why maybe Russia wants to settle down in the Soviet Union time.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has made no secret of his goal to rebuild a post-Soviet empire. About 15% of Kazakhstan's population is ethnic Russian. Public opinion on the war is mixed. A survey conducted in February found almost a third of Kazakh citizens support or justify the war in some way. One factor, according to the survey, is the information these citizens receive has been filtered through Russian propaganda. Some Kazakhs say they're staying neutral.
And to me, the Soviet citizen, I see it as a civil war without taking any side.
As the war drags on, Lalmulin maintains his Soviet identity. But Alina Kakin says she wants Kazakhstan to move away from Soviet-era values.
We still have disadvantages in the, I think, inside of the system of the government, because we still follow the USSR values, and not so openly maybe, but still like we have the outrage of that. So, and hopefully we will just get rid of them.
As it diversifies its market economy, Kazakhstan has seen steady growth in the tech industry and green energy. Yet, Kazakhs are also feeling the effects of global inflation. Ahmed Jibek says Kazakhstan's current dependence on other powers upsets her.
It's not making me happy at all. it's not making our economy happy at all. So I hope that our country won't be depending to other countries.
Kazakhstan's domestic challenges are likely to remain complicated by its multi-vector foreign policy. Russia remains a key political ally and trading partner, and the two countries share a long history. Yet China's economic influence continues to grow. And, to judge from the English language signage and growing number of coffee shops in a tea-drinking nation, Kazakhstan is increasingly looking to the West.
Climate change is an important topic around the world, and here in Central Asia, it's no different. This country has huge mountains and glaciers, but those glaciers are rapidly changing. Brian Ify reports.
The silence at 10,000 feet in the Tian Shan Mountains is deafening, but what you see is amazing. Pristine glaciers set against blue skies, these living masses of ice are vital organs for over 2 million people in the nearby city of Almaty. People depend on the meltwater for drinking and irrigation. But the glaciers are melting as temperatures in Central Asia increase over time.
As a regular alpine climber, I will say yes, it's true. The glaciers have been changing.
Vitaly Zhdanov, who earned the Snow Leopard Award for summiting the 5 tallest peaks in the former Soviet Union, has seen the effects of climate change firsthand.
Since 1999, when I started to do alpine climbing seriously, a glacier called Maladyozhny has degraded a lot. In the past, we had used special alpine crampons to walk on the glacier. Right now, Glacier Maladyozhny has degraded a lot. There are falling rocks, and the whole path is partially ice, partially rocks.
Since scientists first cataloged the 400 glaciers surrounding Almaty more than 70 years ago, nearly half of that glacial area has vanished. We're over 11,000 feet above sea level to observe the glacier Tioksu, which since 1957 has been one of the most observed and recorded glaciers in the entire world, and since that time has lost approximately 60% of its total volume. It's been predicted by climatologists and glaciologists that the Tioksu Glacier could potentially disappear. Their data shows it has steadily shrunk over 7 decades of measurement. Almaty depends on snowmelt from glaciers like the Tioksu to feed rivers, streams, and reservoirs, providing Kazakhstan's largest city with much of its fresh water. It's needed for drinking, cooking, irrigation, and industrial use in the city and surrounding areas. As the Tioksu and the Tian Shan glaciers become an erratic water source, the farmers in Almaty's northern regions are facing a water security crisis. Some farmers, like Esha Isimbik, who owns a blackcurrant plantation in the foothills of the mountains, are already feeling its effects.
Inconsistent water flow leads to a deficit of water during some months. Because of that inconsistency, it has affected us. There are days and weeks where there's too much water, and by the end of the summer, there's not enough water.
To fight the water shortages, Isimbik installed drip irrigation tubes on his plantation. This water-efficient method of irrigation feeds water to plants through small tubes. It's initially cost-heavy to install, but Isimbik made profit in only 2 years. The Kazakh government provides subsidies and loans for farmers looking to install water-saving technology. Across the country and all of Central Asia, receding glaciers are forcing people to change the way they consume water.
We need to have a sustainable attitude towards water resources, towards water consumption, and to reconsider previous attitude. I will say it directly. It's wastefulness in regards to water resources, especially drinking water.
He says future generations will need to change their approach.
Because the deficit will happen because of the growth of the population. In Kazakhstan, in Uzbekistan, the population is growing. The square footage of irrigated fields is increasing as well, and you need water for all of it. The source for everything is water.
In the Tian Shan Mountains, I'm Brian Ify for the Center County Report.
For roughly the past decade, Kazakhstan's next-door neighbor China has been repressing an ethnic minority group known as the Uyghurs. Now, some of them are living here in Kazakhstan. I looked into their cultural revival here.
At Creative Studio Sunshine, a dance studio in Almaty, young dancers connect with their cultural roots. Shahinur Enverova teaches them traditional Uyghur dances that incorporate artistic aspects of Uyghur culture and language. A cultural revival is underway here. The Uyghur people of Kazakhstan are preserving who they are through art, language, literature, and community. The Uyghurs are a Turkic ethnic group that historically lived in the Xinjiang region of northwest China. Over the centuries, Uyghurs have migrated throughout Central Asia. Some settled in Almaty, prompted by repression in Xinjiang. Chinese authorities there have been cracking down on Muslim minorities, most recently beginning in 2017. By last year, Kazakhstan was home to nearly 300,000 Uyghurs, making it the largest Uyghur diaspora according to Freedom House, and one of the most robust cultural revivals in Central Asia. For Anne Varova, her lessons are more than dance. She also teaches Uyghur vocabulary words, since some dance movements are named in the mother tongue.
Now, our future generation knows little of their own language, and by means of teaching them singing or dancing, some elements are named in Uyghur language. So through that, we partially teach children to speak Uyghur language.
Sunshine also offers singing lessons in the Uyghur language. Students learn the history behind each song that commemorates their cultural roots. Almaty's Uyghur community is also finding a digital space through the Digital Yurt Instagram account and chat room, created by Saeed Maximov to foster a supportive online community. Maximov described the encrypted chat room as a virtual home for Uyghurs to connect, like the traditional nomadic homes the project is named after. Chats are organized by topics, like music, stories, and language, so people can find like-minded peers.
Maybe we can act to share some problems or issues we have, and together, collectively, we could solve it a little bit faster, or at least we can show some support to other group members.
Chinese officials have targeted Islamic minorities like the Uyghurs, but in the majority Muslim nation of Kazakhstan, Uyghur people can practice their religion freely. 71-year-old Mihraban Sabatova set out a staggering array of dishes for her family to enjoy at iftar, the meal breaking the Ramadan fast. From fruits and nuts to meat-filled pastries and noodles, the spread was a culinary representation of her identity, as a Muslim Uyghur and a proud Kazakh. As they sat down to eat, Sabatova's family surrounded her. They broke their fasts with a date and zamzam, holy water brought from Mecca, before they passed plates full of appetizers. They also ate Kazakhstan's national dish, beshbamark, made of horse meat, dough, and vegetables. Each dish honored different pieces of her cultural identity as a Kazakh Uyghur.
Kazakhstan is my motherland. I was born on this land. I studied here. I drank the water of this land. I ate its bread. This is my motherland.
Most Americans have never traveled here to Kazakhstan, but you might be surprised to know it's becoming a more popular tourist destination. Tegan Mayer has that story.
Antonina von Leer knows the art, architecture, and history of Almaty. She also speaks fluent English, which makes her a sought-after tour guide for the growing number of international tourists visiting this Central Asian country.
Basically, even now, still today, locals seeing like a person speaking English and walking on the streets, it will immediately catch the attention because the city is still not used to that.
Kazakhstan has seen a 60% increase in the number of international tourists from 2023. According to the Ministry of Tourism and Sports, that's one reason you can find more English speakers. The former Soviet Republic is also welcoming Asian neighbors.
So we are probably one of the few countries who have granted visa-free regime to the two countries with the largest population on the planet.
Nearly 1 in 5 international tourists to Kazakhstan in 2023 were from India. People like Dr. Chandrakant Borsa.
We heard that Almaty have very pleasant climate. Also, people are very kind to others. That is why we choose here.
With its stunning landscapes and new tourism opportunities, Kazakhstan is attracting adventure seekers and cultural explorers.
The mountains are just 30 minutes away from the city center, and then 6-hour drives, and you can find a completely different landscape and scenery, from steppes to almost deserts to, again, snowy peaks and mountain lakes, all within 12 hours ride.
It's a beautiful day here in Almaty, Kazakhstan, one of the fastest growing tourist destinations in the world. The U.S. State Department also rates Kazakhstan as safe, even compared to some European countries. As the number of visitors grows, tourism is set to account for 8% of the nation's income this year. Kamila Azerbay is a manager at Kazal Hotel. She says the rapid growth is driving tourism industry expansion.
For summer season,
we are hotel now is already sold out, and so that's why we built our second property, and second property is already sold out. So it makes very hard for us.
Revenue from hotels and other lodging grew by 27% last year. Many hotels and restaurants try to cater to international expectations while keeping a Kazakh flavor.
Oh, you know, we are international hotel. And of course, Kazakh nation is very kind, very friendly, and so that's why we try to include all these aspects to our service, and we want to show them these things, and to feel the people's more safety, more comfortable there, and we want to show them our friendly service for a lot of the people.
But with growth also comes challenges, like daily gridlock on downtown Almaty's main boulevards. Experts say infrastructure and community involvement must keep pace with the rising demand.
We need collaboration, we need to improve community-based tourism, community involvement.
From skiing and hiking in the nearby Tian Shan Mountains to enjoying the many city coffee shops popping up, Kazakhstan is quickly becoming a destination for tourists worldwide. In Almaty, I'm Tegan Mayer for the Center County Report.
Like many other nations, Kazakhstan sends students and scholars to American universities. Part of their outsourcing comes from the Bolashak program. Colin Chrissy has more on the education system here.
Samgat Yermekbayev has a prominent role in higher education in Almaty. He's a vice rector here at Satbayev University. He's also a proud Penn Stater. He earned a Master of Laws degree at Penn State through Kazakhstan's Bolashak International Scholarship Program. It looks for some of the brightest young Kazakh minds, often from lower middle class backgrounds, and sends them across the world to attend universities. The only catch? Bolashak recipients must return to Kazakhstan after their graduation and work in the country for at least 5 years. Yermekbayev says students who go through the program find success in their careers.
They get an appointment from in all the top positions, and they're doing very well.
Along with the Bolashak program, the Bologna process has been key to Kazakhstan's strategy of international education. It's a framework for higher education that defines student qualifications and learning outcomes.
The main idea was to have a general standard or general requirements for whole entire world universities, to recognize their transcripts, their diplomas.
It's all part of the country's education philosophy to give students opportunities at world-class universities through partnerships, and then making sure those students return to contribute at home. There are other reasons too. With neighboring Russia at war and China exerting more global influence, Kazakhstan wants to show itself as an important regional nation.
And again, studies show that education is typically the best form of soft power. It's not coincidental that all of a sudden we have much more American interest in Kazakhstan, or much more French, or German, or Chinese, or UK.
Nina Gapoldas is a Princeton University student fellow at Narhos University, helping students with everything from resumes to international job applications and even teaching a class.
I feel like the curriculum is not very, I have a lot of freedom, right? And so I'm able to create a course that I think is going to be an effective way to teach, and I think is going to be an effective thing that students need to know.
Gapoldas is also an advisor to the university's English language club. English is becoming increasingly important as the country sends more students abroad. Education is just one piece of a large puzzle of Kazakhstan's international recognition and cooperation, much of that tied to global politics.
We are pragmatic in the sense that we understand that there are, objective reasons for why all these countries are interested in us, and we have to take advantage of that. Because one thing that Kazakhstan deals with, unfortunately, is just the fact that we're not widely known. It's not even the fact that there's negative information, there's no information. So when I'm trying to sell and promote the host, what I feel like I'm often doing is not selling the host, I'm selling the country.
In Almaty, Kazakhstan, I'm Colin Chrissy for the Center County Report.
There's still so much more ahead on this Center County Report special, including a spotlight on domestic violence and a famous case that sparked change here.
Also coming up, a closer look into the world of sports here in Central Asia. Domestic violence is a problem in the U.S. and around the world. Here in Kazakhstan, it was criminalized just last year, and a recent case made national news. Amy Schaefer has the story of the continuing fight for women's rights.
Last year's trial of a high-profile government official convicted of murdering his wife raised hopes in Kazakhstan for legal reforms to fight domestic and sexual violence. The live-streamed trial led to the passage of Sultanat's law, named for the victim, Sultanat Nukianova.
My sister married a man who killed her.
Domestic violence, once only a civil violation in Kazakhstan, is now a criminal offense, but activists say there's still a long way to go.
We have a law itself, we have articles. We still on the practice, like when a woman comes to the police station to make a statement on the abuser, it might be not accepted by the police officers. They might still victim blame and ask, "What did you done so he beat you?" The judge can ask such kind of question. So basically, despite that we are changing the legislation, we also need to change the practice.
Before Nukianova's death, protesters publicly demanded reform at a march held on International Women's Day in 2023. This year, activists were not allowed to march on the holiday. Instead, feminists and activists against domestic violence held a private event in the city. Their message? Government institutions and police forces that should guard against domestic violence are ineffective and sometimes can cause harm, posing legal hurdles that can leave survivors without justice.
One of the demands of our fund is that those people who work directly with survivors of violence, that they go through a course on gender and empathy building, which means they have to be prepared mentally. Because what we observe are outrageous cases. When the survivors are going through another sort of violence, violence from police officers. The way they talk to survivors in an accusatory tone and put responsibility on them.
In a country that doesn't recognize same-sex marriage, two lesbian feminists, Janar Sekerbayeva and Gulzara Serjan, have been vocal advocates for survivors of domestic and sexual violence, especially those in the LGBTQ community.
Why we should ask permission of some kind of bunch of men who is even not interested, not supporting us, who even don't know what is to live in women's body? What is about double stigmatization which lesbians experiencing? For example, I experience double stigmatization. I'm not accepted because I'm lesbian and also not accepted because I'm a woman.
Sekerbayeva says in February, police detained her and held her in prison for 10 days, including during International Women's Day. The reason? She says it's because she organized an unauthorized protest that called for a life sentence for Nukianova's husband and killer, rather than the 24-year sentence Kwandik Bishimbayev is serving.
And we went there because we wanted to say something and shout about it. And because of that, we were punished.
Activists say their fight is far from over.
Our government is playing with fire.
In Almaty, Kazakhstan, I'm Amy Schaefer for the Center County Report.
In January of 2022, what started off as peaceful protests became known as Bloody January. One Kazakh activist shares his story. Natalie Leslie reports.
For Darhan Sharipov, the event known as Bloody January still casts a dark shadow over Kazakhstan. A peaceful protest against rising oil prices began early in 2022 in western Kazakhstan, quickly spreading across the country as it became a general anti-government demonstration. In Almaty, it turned violent.
When we came to the square, it seemed like a war zone. It was scary. When we were approaching the square, we saw a lot of different young people who arrived in just a car. They were quite charged. They had sticks in their hands. They were openly going against the police. On the fire trucks, there were people with loudspeakers, and they shouted with a flag of Kazakhstan, and they were shouting that they will die for this country. And it was very, how shall I put it, spiritual. It was resonating with the crowd, and everyone was